So, welcome to the Fear Lighting tutorial. The first important thing is that all the lighting in this game is dynamic. So the bad thing is that we need to fake a global illumination, like the light bouncing. But the good thing is that when we process the map, there's no light maps to make, so it's really fast. So let's start. There's two like main light we want to use always. It's the spotlight and the light cube. The reason we don't use that much the point light is that it's not really realistic. First of all, we check the spotlight. So we use light spot. So I add object light spot, and we want to rotate the cone to like down. So I can write the value here, and I want to change the radius. You see like the blue here is the size, the radius. We want to change light radius to something like 700. We can also change the size of like the cone. If I put like 40 here, you see here it changed to like more rectangles, and change the other one here. So like it's really like centered. So it's really like it would be like a really small spot. We can also change the intensity. Normally we want to stay at 1. And the light color, of course. Now we want to fake the light bouncing around the room. So I put my marker lower, and I will add object or Control K to add a light point fill. So contrary to the normal light point, this one is more performant. It doesn't cast shadow. And same thing, I want to make it bigger. And I want to change the color to something more similar to the room. Now it's kind of boring, it's a gray room. So I put like gray value. And of course change the intensity, something lower. Maybe a bit stronger. And I forgot one important thing is inside our spotlight we want also to specify a texture. So this will fake like shadow inside the light, which is really important to look good. So we add go texture and inside of light, and then we can add something like this one, which is like a for spotlight, like a circle. And now to see the result we can process the map, which will be really fast. But for example, for the light bouncing, the light fill, we can change the color to something like blue if the wall of our room are like blue, so it will fake like the tint. So if we check how it looks, we have like a really small spotlight, and we can maybe see a little bit of the shadow inside of our texture, which define the shape. Because we could, for example, have a rectangle spotlight. The light texture will decide the mask of the light, the shape. And we can see like the light bouncing around, which is because of our fill light. So the next thing we want to check out is the light cube. This one is when the spotlight doesn't have enough angle to fill like the space. Because if we take the spotlight and we want to add more angle to it, at some point this will reach like 180 like a degree, you know. So we need to use what it's called a light cube. First of all, I will add a light object. So I go prefabs, and in lights, prefabs light, I will add like this fluorescent, like this, and shift X to center my marker on the object, and I want to put the light lower, and then I will do Control K to add object, and I will add a light cube. So with this light selected, we go properties, and we can change again the radius of it so it fills the room. and we want also to add the texture for it. So in texture light, and for this one we need to select a cube map. So for the base texture, the end with the C when it's a cube map, and since the object here is like a fluorescent, we need to check for light fluorescent rect ceiling. So rectangle and ceiling, it sounds good to me. Select that, and I think we're good to go. But before that, I want also to attach this light to the object, to the fluorescent. So first of all, for better organization, I will put my light inside the object. So now both the fluorescent is the parent. And if we see like the prefab is the object, like the fluorescent. If we check the description, it says that it supports to attach light. And they need to be called L1 dot the name of the prefabs, the special symbol. We will see that more in another tutorial on prefabs. But for now, we need to copy that name and then name this L1 dot name of the prefab. And now this light is attached. So if I build the map, which is again really fast, we will see how the light cube look. It's more like a 360 light, but with the shadow of the light texture. So if we check this, we can see instead of having like an ugly light point that casts light everywhere, we have this nice shadow on the ceiling, which is because of the texture, light texture. And we have also, like if you like shoot, the light will be attached to the object, and it also flickers because the flickering is part of the prefabs. So that's really nice, and you can see like the shadow like moving around. It's really cool. And yeah, there's like also like a character here with the shadow, so we see like the shadow. So that will be it for this tutorial. In the tutorial about advanced lighting, we will see more light type, like the directional lighting, and we will also see how to make volumetric lighting and other stuff. So see you next then.